What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Landon. Yeah, this is different. I know, right? For a while, I've been trying to figure out what to do with this side channel, and I figured I might as well name it something that I was going to name my original channel. But with Nintendo Landon, the difference is it's about me. You know, it's more personal to me. So that way I can just sit in front of the camera, no crazy editing, no long bloated script or anything like that. I can just sit and talk to you guys. I mean, this is the channel where I keep it real. And we talk about any current event, things that are going on with games, my opinions on games, my opinions on just pretty much everything, and more about me. And that way I can just talk to you guys for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, who knows what it's going to be. We keep it real here, and as you can see, we're definitely keeping it real because my mic, the cord's messed up. Yeah, it's very staticky. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard, so I got to talk to you guys when I'm on camera through here. For some reason, it works really good with my editor, but not on the camera. I don't know. So I'm using my phone. I'm not joking. This is us keeping it real. Like I said, no cuts, just me talking to you guys. And what better thing to talk about than one of the things that I got memed beyond on the internet for, and that is Nintendo forgot about Mario. Oh boy. Yeah, I know I said no cuts or editing, but I had to switch over to the actual mic now and actually show the gameplay. So I'm sorry, one cut and one little edit there. But back to the topic at hand. What is going on with that meme? How did that all happen in the first place? How did we get there? Well, this is a perfect type of video if you're just driving and you want to use it as a podcast or something and just want to listen to it, tune off, or just watch the gameplay, you can do so. So yeah, but the meme. So I think it was 2022. It was definitely a September Nintendo Direct. Every year, my in-laws have this big vacation in this beach spot, and we go every single year. And I know that it's always in that September time frame, and we've changed it every single year to different weeks in September. We go in September because that's when there's less people on the beach, and if you know because it's perfect temperature, not a lot of people on the beach. It's really, really nice. But we pretty much go every single year, and of course, there's a Nintendo Direct almost every single September, and it's always one of the first 3 weeks of September. And we tried all the different weeks. I remember, I think this was like the third time it happened. On a Nintendo Direct week. Every single time I bring my laptop and stuff just in case. And of course I brought mine and I was able to cover a lot of the stuff. And I don't remember why, but for some reason I was like really, really hoping for 3D Mario in this Direct more than any other Direct. And like I said, I don't know why. There was something about this Direct. I think a lot of people were just expecting it. I know I was for sure, and I don't know why that time frame. I was just like over it at this show, but I was fully expecting it. And I guess at the end of the show, there was no Mario, and I wasn't even mad. I remember like literally saying this was actually a pretty good show, and I was so excited with like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. There were some other really good things I can't remember, but I remember just specifically Kirby because it leaked right before the show, and I remember being so happy for a 3D Kirby game finally. But I think I made the video as just kind of like a dang it, no Mario was here. It was completely like no anger and no like frustration with Nintendo. I was just kind of like, man, where the heck is Mario? Like just confused, I think was the thing. And of course, I put out the video. Nintendo forgot about Mario. Now, of course, a lot of people backed me up on this and said, people, watch the video. If you just watch the video, I clearly talk about 3D Mario specifically. It's 3D Mario. Even the thumbnail shows 3D Mario and 3D Mario logos. But still, that title is what got the meme going. Somebody took a screenshot, posted it on Twitter, and that's all it took. And everybody just read the title and immediately jumped on it, and all the memes took place. I mean, it was just absolute meme to the end of the other earth. And I remember I didn't even really see anything about it until like the following morning. I was sitting there on my bed, and I didn't have like a Nintendo Land Twitter account at the time. It was just my own personal Twitter account, and I saw my own video being shared amongst all types of Nintendo content creators from my own personal Twitter account, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then all my friends started messaging me, dude, is this you? Like, they're like sending me the meme and stuff. They're like, bro, you're getting memed from all, like, they're sending me these major accounts like Shafrilla's Productions and like all these people talking about your video and memeing you. And I'm like, oh my gosh. and I couldn't believe it. And it just took off. And it wasn't just like a meme and funniness for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it was also just hatred. And a lot of people sent some really mean things to me. I couldn't believe it over that video. And I was so confused. And of course, I rushed to my laptop. I'm on vacation, by the way. And I just did it as a fun little thing while I had a good video posted up while I went on vacation. And I remember like it ruined kind of the end of my vacation just because of I was reading all the comments and seeing all the hatred people made. And I remember one of the last nights before heading back home, I was like, I have to make a video before I head back home. So I jumped on the laptop and I like put out this quick, like, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Like, I don't even know why I apologized, because I didn't have anything to apologize for. I wasn't being canceled. Like, I didn't say anything or do anything wrong. I just simply was wondering where was 3D Mario, and I worded it. Yes, I admit it was a baby thing to even post about. We got a pretty good show, and I was just being stupid. I don't even know why I even posted that video. But yeah, the thumbnail and the title, it was really just the title. The title was just stupid. Okay, I admit it. The title was stupid, and I should have known that the internet is the internet, and they're going to run with things. And they ran with it. They picked it up and ran with it. And I remember just, it ruined the end of my vacation greatly. I remember, I'm the type of person I'm very OCD, and I'm very also like, I want everybody to love me. And not in a weird way. I'm like, I just like being liked. I hate making people upset or making people mad at me. Like, I want to make sure that everybody's in good spirits with me and that there's no issues. Like, I was always like that in high school. I was friends with like every type of friend group. I never like disassociated from one. Like, I was the nerd that was also with the cool group and the jocks and also the band. You know, like I was all around everywhere. I was friends with everyone. And when I heard that someone didn't want to, you know, be friends with me or was mad at me about something, it hurt. I took it seriously. And seeing that online, that everybody was mad at me or hated me and just said, we can't stand Nintendo Land, was just like, it was the hardest thing ever. Like, it made me like really, really self-conscious. And I was like, I'm like talking to myself, and I'm talking to, I believe she was my fiance at the time, now my wife. And I was going to her name is Cassidy. And I was like, Cass, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, I posted this video. I don't know how people are going to feel. And I'm not very good with like letting people know that I'm down about something. So I was like really trying to open up to her for the first time. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. I've never seen this happen before. And I'm like all over this simple little video that I edited in like 30 minutes. I'm like, what is happening? And then, you know, of course, eventually it blew over. And I make jokes about it to this day. I see my content creator friends make jokes about it to this day. You know, and it's funny to me. I still think it's funny. And I think the memes are hilarious. I've seen some that literally to this day crack me up. I don't know if I still have it, but one said like, me when my grandma dies or something. And it was just a picture of Mario crying. It's just stupid stuff. And it was just like people taking just a picture of a character crying and then posting like logos with them crossed out saying, this company forgot about such and such, with like everything for the next 2 years. And it was crazy. And for better or for worse, it was memed, and it was pretty crazy. And yeah, it just, once again, for people that still don't know, because I still have people to this day say, you lost all credibility, don't talk about this when I post something or tweet about something. I'm like, credibility? How did I lose credibility for winning a 3D Mario game? Like, I lost credibility for, like, what? It's crazy. And it's funny that if you just watch the first like 30 seconds of the video, I tell you exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, everybody, you know, as the years would go on, Mario games would come out, like Paper Mario the Thousand. It's funny, as soon as I posted that video, Nintendo would release Mario everything. Mario RPG came back with a remake. The 1,000 Year Door, one of my favorite games of all time, came back with a remake. Mario and Luigi finally came back. It was just like, once I posted that video, the trifecta of Mario RPGs happened, and tons of other Mario games as well. And then everybody just like, you know, this video aged absolutely poorly. No, if anything, it still stands just as much as it did back then. Today, we still don't have a new 3D Mario game, and it's 2 years later in 2025. We don't even have one announced or on the horizon. We have no clue what's going on with 3D Mario. But that's another reason why I wanted to post this video and talk further about that. But yeah, it's just, it's crazy how people can just take one thing, flip it, and make you just sound like the bad guy on the internet. And forever, I was looked at as like the spoiled, whiny person. And I definitely, it didn't help with the recent Switch 2 Direct. And I will talk about that next time. That will be its own video, so I can better explain. And now that I have all my thoughts, I can talk about this. But what's the whole point of that video? And why did I make that video? Well, it's very, very, very simple. I wanted a new 3D Mario. It's been so long, since 2017, and you know, I've went through the stats before. This is the longest time period by a large margin we've ever gone without a new 3D Mario game. And with them releasing a new 3D Mario game, I know it's one per console normally, but with them releasing one as early as they did in the Switch life cycle, I really expected it to be another one. You know, it just made sense. I mean, if Breath of the Wild, a game that big with an open world, can get 2 games on the Switch, surely a Mario game can too, because Odyssey also never even got DLC. It got Luigi's Balloon World, but it's one of the few games that didn't get any type of additional, like, actual story DLC or anything like that, which was so weird. They just let the game out to die after it came out, and this is still a long waiting period for this game. We haven't even got it announced, and here we are, you know, all the way with Switch 2s in our hands. I never thought we'd be in this situation where, I mean, Mario Kart World has come out. It's been so long since a Mario Kart game, so long since the 3D Donkey Kong game. I mean, we have all those things now. So long since Pikmin, we got that. You know, it's just like we can go through the list, and it just feels like Mario is now one of those few games that we've not gotten one in over 8 years soon. And it's just, it is kind of crazy. And I know a lot of people, you know, get mad at me every direct when I say, like, I expect the 3D Mario. It just happened with the Switch 2 presentation. I fully expected 3D Mario to at least be shown off. I didn't expect it to, like, necessarily have to come out this year or be a launch title or anything like that, or even a holiday title this year. I just wanted to see the thing. See that it's actually a thing that's happening, and Nintendo didn't show us anything. So, yeah, I got a little salty about that, and like I said, I'll talk about that Switch 2 presentation later on, but I just really wanted to see 3D Mario, and a lot of people will say, like, you're getting your 3D Donkey Kong, that's 3D Mario, and even if it's made by the Odyssey team, which it looks like it is, it's not 3D Mario. 3D Mario is different. It's special. You can see this Donkey Kong, it's based on digging and hitting enemies, punching them, and throwing things. It's a different style of 3D platformer. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, it's about capture mechanics, kind of like Odyssey in its way, but it's very linear. It's about copy abilities and using them to fight off enemies, kind of like a beat 'em up in a 3D style. I mean, we can go through all the games. Like, they all have a little bit something different, but 3D Mario is just, it's just something entirely different. Just platforming and running and jumping and diving and rolling. It's just something. I know there's memes out there talking about he just wants his what is it, his Bing Bing Wahoo or whatever, and it's just like it's funny and stuff, but it's just so different than anything that the gaming industry offers. The closest that I think we've gotten was Astrobot, which I absolutely love that game. It felt like a 3D World Mario Galaxy clone hybrid, almost Odyssey-like too, and it just, you don't get too many games like this often with the, you know, bombastic soundtrack and vibrant worlds. And when you see what they did with Bowser's Fury, it really makes you think, man, they're going to cook with this next 3D Mario game. If they decide to go open world like Bowser's Fury and just give us like a whole Mushroom Kingdom to explore, to do platforming challenges with, the more you think about it, the quicker you'll be like, okay, I understand. You know, like, how good this game could be, because Nintendo's not making games to that caliber. They're making pretty big games, but arguably speaking, nothing has even remotely recently come out that made me say, I can't wait to the release date. I was very excited for the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, but I was never like, biting at the claw. Is that even a thing? Biting at the nail, I guess you could say, of waiting for that game. Like, I wasn't losing sleep or anything like that. It was just like, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it to come out, and then it's here. It's cool. Same with Donkey Kong. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully this Direct, convinces me otherwise. This is coming out before the Direct, so I don't know if I put this video out afterwards or whenever, but I'm recording this as the time of recording this. It's before that Donkey Kong Direct. But there's nothing that's really making me... I think the Splatoon Raiders game is the closest that I've come to really being, like, unbelievably excited for a game, because, there's so much they can do with that, and that could be a topic for, for another time as well. But yeah, what's the deal with, the meme and stuff nowadays? It's calmed down. I still see it every now and then, and I still get haters commenting it on all my videos every now and then. It's just like, Nintendo Land forgot about Mario. Like, literally, you can look right now. I just saw it on the video I uploaded today, that someone said Nintendo forgot about Mario. I'm sure there'll be hundreds down here in the comments, and it'll make me laugh. I laugh at them. I think they're hilarious, and I know some content creators are like, they've messaged me like, are you okay if I made that joke? Like, are you mad? No, I am not mad whatsoever. I find the joke so funny, and it's just humorous to me now, and it always was. The problem was just the hate that was coming in from it, and the fact that so many people were taking it on a serious note, like, all these Mario games and these Mario movies and Nintendo Land saying we forgot about Mario. Like, no, I'm not saying that. It's 3D Mario, people. I should have just changed the title. Would have been a smarter thing to do, but I think I just overreacted and I just unlisted the video at the time. But yeah, it probably would have been smarter just to say, like, Nintendo forgot about 3D Mario, but it was too late. The meme was set in stone and people were attacking, and I was just, I was beat up. Yeah, that's probably like one of the hardest times I took a video. The other only time, I think, was when one of my first big launched videos for the channel, which was on Splatoon 2's Octo expansion. I did like a Who is Agent 7. I had no clue what I was doing. I was young. I was a kid trying to make a theory video. I didn't know it was going to get 1 million views, and I didn't know that many people were going to come in. And everybody's like, do more research, you stink, and just lit me up for that. And I'm like, I was just like a little kid I had no subscribers at the time. This is like, how can you expect better quality or, better things from a child trying to make a video? It's just like the internet is ruthless. I didn't know what I was doing. So many young channels out there just throwing out stuff on the internet, seeing what sticks. I'm like, that's exactly what I was doing, and somehow it caught traction. But it was a fun little video I made. That might be, and once again, there's so many video topics, man. I could talk about that one as well another time. But I'm not going to back down on it. I still, to this day, believe Nintendo. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? I'm just, to this day, I still think to myself, man, Nintendo, did they really forget about 3D? I know they didn't forget about 3D Mario. It's just like, how long are they going to make us wait for this thing? I think I'm at that point where I've stopped expecting it, and it's probably for the best. Like, I don't go into any Nintendo Direct anymore expecting it. I'm just like, you know what? It'll surprise me when it surprises me. And that's probably the mindset we should just have. But, a little bit of a burp there. Another one. It's like a hiccup burp. Sorry. Keeping it real here on Nintendo Landon. But no, like, that's about it. It's just like, I really, 3D Mario just does something to my veins, to my soul. I just like, it's a different style of game that just nothing can replicate. Nothing has come close to my experience. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was about to say nothing can come close to my experience with Odyssey. Breath of the Wild was phenomenal. I don't think I'll ever have an experience like Breath of the Wild again. Tears of the Kingdom, not so much. Breath of the Wild was just like, oh my gosh, dude, it was. Breath of the Wild's number one, and then I'd probably say Odyssey. Odyssey was such a fun time. I can replay Odyssey all the time and just never get bored because there's just so much stuff. I mean, just collecting the moons in different orders, seeing how fast you can collect the moons, remembering, how to collect moons, and seeing, like, taking different paths and branching paths this time around compared to the last playthrough. I love Odyssey, dude. Odyssey's so good. People trying to hate on Odyssey now. That's another thing. People are trying to hate on Odyssey. I see, like, this trend coming up saying, like, Odyssey was never that good. Galaxy's better. 3D World's better. I'm a Sunshine fan. That's always been my favorite. And I'll still tell you to this day, Odyssey's the best 3D Mario game. Without a doubt. 3D World is too linear. Replayability is not there. Because once you play a course, you're not going to really feel like... Because there's nothing you can do differently when you replay the course. It's the same beginning to end. I love 3D World. I love all my 3D Mario games. But 3D World, it's not better than Odyssey. Galaxy is also very linear, and the same problem, is there. It's a spectacle of a game, but Mario's very chunky to control. He's not as agile and flexible and parkour styled as he is in Odyssey. I love my Galaxy. I love my Galaxy 2. I love my 3D World. But it doesn't stand a test to Odyssey. Odyssey's movement is just, it just feels fun to run around with Mario. And not too many games have that feeling. I think Sunshine's the same way. It's just 64, not so much. Sunshine, it feels good to run around with Mario. It's still not the best controls, but I feel like this Odyssey is just the evolution. And I know it's the third sandbox Mario game in the lineup, so duh. But it just really feels like the evolution from 64 to Sunshine to Odyssey. Really just, finding that formula and striking home on it. Is it a perfect game? No. I know some moons are just too easy to collect and just too lazily slapped into the world, but yeah, this just turned into an Odyssey rant. I told you that this channel could go anywhere, man. But yeah, I will never post a video like that again. You definitely learn your lesson when you make videos and people grab a hold of everything and anything that you post and say or do. So I've learned my lesson, but once again, I'll just say, for those of you that really do take it serious, it was a joke video. It wasn't meant to be like, it was just like more of a lighthearted, why hasn't Nintendo made a 3D Mario yet? And I titled it as such, and I got ridiculed as such. But the meme is funny. I think it's hilarious. I've seen some really funny ones, and I think it's just a thing that I have to work on personally, and I've been getting better at just, taking criticism, and not even just criticism, but mostly just taking hate online so fast. I just want to defend myself, and it's just sometimes you got to take a step back and just let it happen. Turn off, tune off the internet and just go along. But I also want to say there are some Nintendo content creators in this community. There's some toxic ones that like to spread hate amongst each other, but there's also some that are just genuinely some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I normally don't call, I'm not trying to put people out there, but I'm going to put one out there because he's just such a nice guy. Is Nathaniel Bandy. Everybody's heard of him. Everybody knows him. He hit me up with a DM one day, and he still messages me every now and then just to check in and just, pretty much guide me. He almost works like an older brother. And it's awesome because I absolutely take everything that he says to me, and I listen to him because he's one of the Nintendo, content creator legends. He's one of those few that started it back then, and I was watching in middle school and high school and even college and even now. But, he just reached out to me when I was heading home from vacation, and he said, "Hey man, don't take the internet too seriously." He's like, "I know a lot of people can come at you," and he goes, "I'm just checking in on you, making sure you're doing okay." And that right there is so big. I'm telling you, just having that from Nathaniel Bandy is just huge for me, especially in that time period, because I was down. I was beat up, and I was like turned off from not turned off, that sounds weird, but I was like kind of shut off, rather, from my fiance. And I just wasn't talking, and I just wasn't doing anything, and I was just sitting there so just disconnected, and I didn't know how to feel. I was like, I didn't feel like talking to anybody, doing anything. And then I almost like, not depression, but I guess maybe depression for like a day or two. Just like, I just didn't feel like doing anything. I was so frustrated with the internet and so just beat up over it. It's one of those feelings I can't really, when you see the whole internet's ganging up on you and making fun of you, it's a different feeling. And to have people like, and it wasn't just Nathaniel Bandy. I've had a lot of other people. Switch Stop is another YouTube group of guys that I just, I love with all my heart. They're the nicest guys. They're so friendly and so fun to talk to. And I love every single one of them there. Tom, PJ, there might be more now. I think Mac, there's a couple more, but awesome guys. So definitely check out Nathaniel Bandy and Switch Stop. And it's just some of, a giant list. Odyssey Central was adding on to the joke and trying to get it away from seriousness and being nice with me, and trying to say like, I want 3D Mario too, just trying to keep the heat off me for a while. And it was, there's so many nice content creators that tried to make things better and fix things with me, and I appreciate every single one of you, like, just reaching out to me to check on me, because you don't know what your hate comments and things that you say can do to people. You might think people read it and just like, I smirk and laugh about it and move on. No, like sometimes I take them serious. Like it got kind of dark on some of them. I was receiving some really hate messages. I did a stupid thing by like going on Reddit and looking at, it was the worst thing I could have ever done. Like it was just a Nintendo Land hate session on Reddit. It still is to this day. But I was like, taking all that stuff so seriously, man. I remember being so down about it. And, if it affected me that way, which normally, I'm pretty good at handling stuff like that, or at least not pretty good. I just never handled stuff like that. But, I'm pretty good at it now. But still, I'm just like, can you imagine, once again, like I said, one of my first videos I ever, got to pop off when I was really young, I was getting blasted in hate comments like crazy. I was getting death threat emails over a Splatoon 2 theory. I'm not joking. It was crazy. And, I know a lot of people are just like, don't listen to them. They're weirdos. Don't listen to those type of people. But it's like, you do listen, and you read that stuff and you're just like, it affects you mentally. So I guess the lesson of the day is don't listen to people's comments. And don't hate on people. Don't send death threats over a Nintendo theory, people. Look at who you're talking about. If the account's like less than 500 subscribers, less than 1,000 subscribers, they don't know it. Even if it's a lot of subscribers, give some people some justice. Like, give them a break. It's just like, this is the world we live in. Give people a break and just have patience with people. You know what I mean? You don't need to hate comment over everything. Like, find out all the facts before you like watch the video before you just start memeing and hating and stuff. But yeah, be careful what you say to people on the internet and what you comment to other content creators, because you don't know what people are going through and what their mental state is. But yeah, that's kind of the whole gist. But like, I got home from vacation and, things got better. Like I said, it made me, Nathaniel Bandy's DM made me feel like 10 times better. It did. It just made me feel heard and seen and understood by somebody that, was on a scale way bigger than me, and somebody that's been on this platform for a long time and has dealt with stuff like that. So, still to this day, I'm very thankful for other content creators like that, and just even some of the fans reaching out and checking in on me, because it was one of the hardest things I think I've had to go through on this YouTube journey. But you live, you learn, that will not be happening again. But thank you so much for tuning in to Nintendo Landon's little podcast talk here, where I just sat and we just talk about things. But that is the whole history of Nintendo Forgot About Mario. It goes a lot further too. Like I said, I've seen jokes. There was one account, I think it's like a Mario Twitter account. He posted about it like literally every week, every day. He posted about it for like a month straight. He even printed out a magnet, put it on his fridge, took a picture of it, and posted it just to irritate me. And I was just like, dude, how obsessive can people be? Like, what are we? Some of us, like, it makes you really start to wonder, like. But yeah, and my brother made a funny joke. He like printed out the picture and like put it in a card for me on my birthday. It's like, I laughed. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was hilarious. I laugh at the jokes, but then when it becomes excessive, it's just like, dude, when do we stop? When do we say, okay, the joke's over? But yeah, Nintendo did not forget about Mario, for crying out loud. I understand. Let me rephrase that and say Nintendo forgot about 3D Mario, because they still have. Bowser's Fury doesn't count. I will die on that hill. But thank you for tuning in. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's build this channel up, and the more subs we get, the more views we get, the more videos you guys get. I'll try to post 1 a week for now, eventually 2 a week, maybe 3 a week eventually, of me just sitting here talking to you guys, keeping it real. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay and the discussion, and I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.